Investor Show. Glad to meet you. It's so much about money that Prince, he can teach you. Them other people scamming, so don't let them beat you. You might be new, but the YouTuber gets you through. The rough patches, bull and bear markets, different asset classes. You can make a mix and you listening to Prince. So raise your glasses and repeat after me. I'm gonna be financially free. I'm gonna be financially free. I'm gonna be financially free. Glad now you're learning like Wesley. That's his daddy, no Pinocchio. He gon' teach you how to build a portfolio. Prince is intelligent, energy and integrity. He'll show you how to build a legacy. Like, hey, oh, we enjoying the Investor Show. Like, hey, oh, we enjoying the Investor Show. Georgia made, Denver made, Georgia made it, Denver made it, Georgia made it.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, we're now tuned into the Investor Show. As always, this is your gracious host, the Prince of Investing, Prince Dykes, coming to you guys and girls live all the way from the beautiful city and state of Denver, Colorado. As you guys and girls can already see, we got a special guest in the building. We got Mr. NBA champ, Defensive Player of the Year, and my partner right here, Metta World Peace out here in Denver. We just wrapped up the Colorado Battalion. Metta, what's going on? How you doing today? How you feeling?
It's incredible, man. We just wrapped up a great event, the Battalion, the Cotillion, the graduates. We're here in Denver. When you invited me, I knew when they requested me through you, you know, and for you to call me and ask me to come, it had to be something. And obviously I didn't know exactly what it was, but it was worth it. You can't really, you can't put a price on what this is worth, because if you don't experience culture-related things, I'm from New York City, right? Projects, different boroughs, and we don't necessarily identify or could even target where are the culture things happening. Here we are in Denver. We brought the culture from the South
all the way up to Denver.
Because the South got really, New York got good culture on 125th Street in Harlem.
Yeah,
it's a lot of history where they teach real history and real culture.
Yeah.
But the South is like, it's more embedded, and it's year after year after year. And today was something just a beauty. So appreciate you for having me. It's great.
Oh, no, definitely. Now, the thing I always want to hit you up on, I always tell people the story of how we initially met.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Out of the craziest places, the last place I ever expected to see you was at Berkshire Hathaway at Warren Buffett's meeting back in 2017, when you was still with the Lakers at the time.
Yeah.
I think you was finishing up, or you was still with the Lakers, and you was like, man, I'm getting ready to retire. I'm getting ready for my next phase of life. And I said, man, all this time I thought this dude was crazy. Out of all places, he's here learning to invest in finance. So we know your accolades on the court. You've done that plenty of times. We've seen you all over the place. I want to get into your finances. What has Metta been investing in?
Well, yeah, I do. Thanks for asking, and I'm looking forward to your show becoming really huge and you becoming big and getting more assets under management, more AUM. This is the man right here to manage your assets 100%. He's an RIA. But I love one of my companies, Easy Care Link.
Okay.
That's a nursing staffing platform, a SaaS platform. I got involved at about six figure in revenue. We took it to.
Did you buy it outright, or did you?
I
partner.
I accelerated that company.
Oh, so you went in and got the EBITDA up.
Yeah, I got the EBITDA way up.
So EBITDA earnings before interest, taxes, and amortization. So, that's big in the financial industry because they look at multiples and things like that.
And we scaled from 6 figures in revenue to 7 figures in revenue over 5 years, right? So it kept scaling. So in total, we did 8 figures in revenue.
So you took a company from 6 figures in revenue all the way to 8 figures in revenue.
Yeah.
Why nobody ever talked about this with you?
Well, I think a lot of people's out there doing their thing. It's a super competitive space. When you're talking about sponsors or people raising capital, they call them sponsors. It's super competitive, and not everyone trusts new sponsors, new managers, new immersion managers. Obviously, we know assets under management in terms of females or blacks,
color,
African Americans, whatever you want, minorities. It's a small percentage, let alone an athlete who's known for defense. You know what I mean? Like an athlete, what? So that's why you saw me by my, people don't see the behind the scenes. But what I always tell people, when you're in that gym, people see you, you just don't know they see you. You got to be working as if there's competition in that gym when you're in there alone.
Okay, so let's go back to this. You said a healthcare company.
Yeah, this is easycarelink.com.
So easycarelink.com, you took it from 6 figures all the way up to 8 figures. Did you sell it off, or what did you do? What happened after that?
So the story is a lady from the Philippines came to America. Her name is Jehan Edu, the founder of the company. I'm on the board of the company. And, she came here, really humble beginnings in the Philippines, and wanted to be a nurse. Actually, she initially wanted to be a fashion designer. Went to fashion school. That didn't work, so she became a nurse. So, when she saw a problem in the hospital, she wanted to solve it. And then she went out on her own. Then she met me about $150,000 in revenue in. And then I came in. I knew nothing about healthcare, but I liked her. I liked her husband. And I said, well, if you teach me about healthcare, I'll bring what I can bring to the table, which is hard work and different things. And we came together. It was mostly her, but I was a part of the growth. So I have a chunk of equity. I'm on the board, and I help with the staff. And we had some down periods, but we also had a lot of success.
Okay. Now, with that, by you sitting on the board, pretty much this is private equity one-on-one.
Yes, private equity one-on-one.
Private. So people out there who's not familiar with private equity, that you went in, you got this company, and does it build a cash flow, or your equity is just growing? That's
a great question. Ideally, you will want to have a structured equity agreement. Even if you're giving consultation services for equity, you want it to be structured. But under this situation, we wanted to reinvest the capital into the company. So I wasn't necessarily pulling out capital out of the company. But I do have other companies where it's structured a little bit differently. Where you can pull out capital, you can receive some consultation fees or revenue sharing and different things like that.
Okay, so you got the healthcare company that you invested in, took it at 6 figures revenue, all up to 8 figures revenue. You sitting on the board. I'm pretty sure you're waiting on your payout when y'all go public one day, and that's when we're gonna see it on Bloomberg. Now, what else investments did Metta make? Because you made a nice little piece of change in your career.
Yeah, basketball was obviously myself was the number one investment. Basketball obviously was there. Basketball is great, obviously, but sometimes as we're going to pursue sports, we forget education. We forget being an academic. We forget understanding finance and taxes. So as a whole, we kind of dig ourselves in a hole because we don't have the skill set to teach generational wealth planning, even though you're a successful athlete, right? So although we're spending a lot of time, and 1, 2, maybe even 100 people are making lots of money, we don't necessarily have the skill set to have that money work for us so it can turn into generational wealth. Now it's changing now. Back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, those athletes didn't even have access to get into different corporations and different companies and institutions, right? Because of the laws that was put in place. Well, now it's a little bit different, a little bit open, but we have to make sure that not only are we trying to be a pro and a rapper or an actor, that we are focusing on finance so we can pass it down to the children.
Now, something else I saw you do interesting, I saw you on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
You was on Shark Tank up there with Charles Barkley and, Buttercloth. Tell us about, you're a partner with them. What's that business structure like? How did you get involved?
Buttercloth is another great company. I'm wearing it right now.
Oh, nice. You ain't bring me no Buttercloth.
I got you
right? I had to buy my own Buttercloth, but it's all right. I got some Buttercloth in my closet.
We got you. Right. Send me the sizes, Hey, Bob, Dan, we got to get him some Buttercloth. Let's go.
All right.
But yeah, so it's a really unique company. I was involved at $0 in revenue. We came up with a plan, have a really great structure, and then we decided. Well, the founder said, "Hey, let's go on Shark Tank," and I said, "Why are we going to go on Shark Tank with a clothing line? That just didn't make sense to me." And then as we agreed to disagree, and then agreed, we just got in the war room, came up with a plan, got up at 5 a.m., similar to what happened in Nebraska. Up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Was waiting online. There was 1,000 people waiting. So in Shark Tank, it's 4 people on a panel, right? So one presentation at a time. Well, when you're trying out for Shark Tank, it's 1,000 people on the line with 20 different groups of 4 pitching, and everybody's pitching at the same time. So you just wait, inch up, you wait. You inch up and you wait.
Yeah.
So I was on the grind like that. So we got on Shark Tank. Robert, thank you to Mr. Herjavec. He invested that day on Shark Tank. We made about $500,000 that day.
Nice.
And then it went from 0 to in revenue to now we are 8 figures in revenue right now.
8 figures in revenue. 0 revenue all the way to 8 figures.
Yeah.
See, man, I watch you on all these different podcasts, these shows, and, like I told you, I said, hey, NBA career, hey, that's solidified, right? But nobody talks about your business, right? And I saw you on there with Shark Tank, and you got a Shark Tank investment, and nobody said nothing about the company, right? And I saw you do this. Now I want to go on the other side. Tell me, or tell us how you missed out on the vitamin water deal.
Yeah, I always like to talk about the losses too, because I think that's always important. So
It was coming. I was going to come.
at 27 years old, I didn't know what equity was. At 27 years old, when I was a professional athlete, in my prime, I didn't know what equity was. Now, keep in mind, my major was architecture. My first major was architecture in college. And then my second major, when I dropped architecture, was art. And then I also was thinking about majoring in math, but by that time, I was going to the NBA. So when I got to the league and I got drafted, I wasn't thinking about academics. I was thinking about defense, and that's going to give me a check. You see what I'm saying? So from that perspective, it wasn't as if I couldn't put it together, because I was thinking about majoring in architecture. And even when I retired, I also studied for my Series 7. But at 27 years old, I didn't understand economics, right? So when I passed on the equity deal with Vitamin Water.
How did vitamin water come to you?
When I had a basketball league in Queensbridge Projects, and Vitamin Water would come, the 2 humble founders, I forget their names, good people, Indian gentlemen from Queens, they would give water to my players that played in my tournament and my teams. So since they was giving water, I said, I'm gonna do y'all a favor. I really appreciate you giving my people water in Queensbridge on the Mob Deep block. So I said, I'm gonna put your logo on the jerseys. So I put Vitamin Water logos on the jerseys for free. I was just, whatever, like we just vibing, like I do it, like I'm here, whatever. So since I did that, it activated them in Queens. And then they said, yo, Metta, we want to bring you into the office because we want to offer you a deal. So at this time, I'm still in the hood with my people, right? So I brought my people with me to the meeting. My dudes, let's go check out this deal real quick, right? So we go, and then Vitamin Water is there. My manager is there, and Coca-Cola is in the room. Coca-Cola is in the room, right? So,
And still no bells went off.
Nah, I don't know. I'm straight up. The meeting was in Queens. I was right down the block from Queensbridge. I was in the hood. I was in a tank top. You know what I'm saying? That's how I went to the meeting. So I was in a tank top. I'm from the streets. I'm sorry, but so as I got in there, and they was like, this is the deal we want to present. So keep in mind, I'm 27 years old. That's old, but for me in business, that's immature. I know nothing at this point. So when they offered the deal, I'm like, when I heard the equity, I'm like, what's that? Like, you know what I mean? I'm trying to get back to the block.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So after I just couldn't wait to leave that meeting, then 3 months later, they sold for $3 billion.
So they offered you equity, and you wanted upfront cash.
I wanted the cash, but what I understand now, if I raise capital right now and we want to invest that into a company, right, and then let's say acquisition is about to happen, and I want to go to a celebrity, hey, you should invest, and we want to use your likeness, and this should multiply your investment.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't understand that sequence at that time.
So you went into the thing, they offered you equity, you was like, man, ain't no cash on here, I'm out of here.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm Sacramento Kings. Like, I'm the best defender in the league right now. Like,
I'm the best.
Where the cash at? But, and that's the mindset that was there at that time.
About 3 months later, what happened?
And then about 3 months later, Coke buys it for $3 billion. And then I hear, 50 exited. I was offered the deal before. Shout out to 50 from Queens. All my people know him. Then I seen his deal. I had that deal first. 50. Then months later, Chauncey Billups. I'm like, damn, everybody was in this deal. So then at that point, I said, I really need to learn the business because the opportunities are there. And it's not like I don't have the acumen, being that I was going to major in architecture. So putting that type of stuff together logistically, it's not complicated, but I'm in the gym working on my speed, my endurance, my defense, my balance, my yoga, my Pilates. I'm in the gym 4 times a day for 6-7 hours a day. Mm-hmm. So now it's like, okay, I need to apply that type of work ethic to this other side, if that makes sense.
Okay. Now, I saw you pass with the vitamin water deal. Now I got to ask you this question. Why wasn't you part of the #1 children's book series in the world, which is Wesley Learns, right? Why didn't you do the deal for Wesley Learns?
At that time I was building my company. I know we met a lot often. I was building my firm at that time. So as I'm building this firm agency, and you're trying to figure out who's going to be there for the long haul. So as you're piecing together the different team members for the different departments that I'm building, and keep in mind, when I first started, it was just me, right? And the vision is firm, public firm. So in the beginning, I'm testing people out to handle tasks. And sometimes people are not able
They dropped the ball. They dropped the ball. They did.
Sometimes people are not able to execute on the task.
Yeah.
Like from A to Z and button it up. Are we doing it or are we not? And if we're doing it,
what does it look like?
What does it look like? And then what's the goal? And then if you sometimes, and people are probably going through this right now, we're going to do something together. And then halfway through, it fizzles out and there's no clarity. What happened?
Yeah.
Right? There's no clarity
it gets back to you. Like, what happened? What's going on? But because you assign it to people to happen.
But it's not their fault.
Yeah.
It's really because like when you start a company, you're in your infancy, right? And if you don't have experience, you 2 times infancy if you don't have the experience. And then for me, I had to figure out how do I build the firm. I know what I wanted to do, but I don't have the experience. But I got the work ethic. And I always go back to my architect background. So if I'm not going to build an architect company or build a building, I can build a sports company with the same fundamentals of building the foundation to build, maybe call it, commercial real estate.
I understand that. I understand in business all the time. Things happen. They happen when they're supposed to.
Yeah, that's true.
When you want to, it always happens when you're supposed to.
It's true.
And things like that go along. Now, I know you're in logistics too. You got a portfolio of 40 different companies.
Yeah.
I can't go through all 4 of them on this episode because we just came to this is impromptu. We just wanted to make you happy. But I also want to leave, before you leave Denver, what do you want to say? What do you want to say to people?
Yeah, the logistics company, I'm super excited about it. As athletes, sometimes we get offered deals. Some people get offered boatloads, bags. Some people don't. Very successful athletes don't have certain deals because the brands and the companies that's operating, they already got their mind made up on who they're going after. And then the other athletes sometimes, right, don't really understand how to execute on the business to grow. Why can't you execute on your own business? It's not like you don't have the opportunity, right? So, but if you're an athlete, all you're doing is focusing on your game. You see what I'm saying? So, but it's certain businesses, publications, sports tech, merchandising, back in SaaS platform. It's certain things that you can build. So people say, "Why logistics?" Well, if you're going to sell merchandise or consumer products, maybe you don't know, but logistics is 100% involved in that bit. Your books.
Yeah, it is.
Who handle your logistics?
Yeah.
Amazon.
Yeah. Or
everything you sell has logistics.
Yeah, everything. It keeps the world moving.
Yeah, you got to have logistics. So as an athlete, so I'm super excited about the logistics company, and I'm super excited about my firm, and we have an umbrella, type of structure, and we have different departments, and now we're signing athletes. So I don't know what you heard, but we have agents. We have fiduciaries in-house, so entrepreneurs, athletes. You can go to ourtestmanagementgroup.com. We would love to have you a part of our company, whether it's helping your foundation, whether it's helping you build your business. We do have a lot of great talent from colleges of Berkeley's and Harvard's and different things that are part of the company. We are ready. We're ready.
Yeah.
Training camp is over.
Now, I got to ask you this question, right? This is something called a task. Just speaking for the financial industry, I talked to your brother about this too. Mm-hmm. When you look at the industry, right? Like I told you the conversation last night about, with Warren Buffett. When you look at it, you look at a locker room.
Hey, let's talk about the Warren Buffett thing real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
So check it out. So we in Omaha, then Warren Buffett team, they know you. You connected me.
Yeah.
I love that team, by the way. Incredible people, just honorable, humble. The next year I'm supposed to go to Omaha, and I was going to try, but I couldn't make it. Then you sent me a picture of Warren Buffett signing your book. I was sick. I would have been there with you probably, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, I was sick.
You know how hard it is to get to Warren?
Oh, come on, man.
He's an old guy. But to be that, and you gotta think about it. For me, I'm not an athlete. I'm not a celebrity. I'm just a dude, right? Walking down the street. Now, I want to ask, since you brought that up, right? What is it that you saw when I know you get approached by, and athletes, y'all get approached by tons of people, and either you was going through or you watched it. I mean, you played with Michael Jordan, you played with Kobe, you played with LeBron, all those guys, right? How do you filter through and to say, hey, you know what, I'm going to go with this person, I'm going to trust this person and that person?
Well, sometimes you can hire a manager and do different things like that. But there's a lot of successful people that are not athletes that build their business from the ground up, meeting people in first person. So they're getting the knowledge, right? So I'm the buffer. And I got buffers, but because of my experience now, I'm able to call BS by just certain questions, and I know like, okay, they're not serious or they're not ready. And I'm very down to earth, but sometimes I'm running a different business now. I'm at a different stage. Not that I'm too good for anyone, because I'm not. But I like to meet people.
Yeah.
I do background checks.
Yeah.
Right. Before I meet somebody. I'm not able to engage with everyone.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not able to engage with everyone. But and we want to work with people that are trying to get it. Like, we want to partner. We want to collaborate. And how do you filter through? Well, I have a goal, and by this point, I should be able to tell if I'm able to work with this person. Not that somebody's not good enough, because most times,
got a match.
Yeah, and then sometimes people are not good enough, but it's like we also would like to make that person better.
Yeah.
Right? So we like to give chances, and we like to develop, or very similar to when they used to develop artists back in the days. They don't do that no more. They don't develop rappers. They don't develop singers. They say, get in there, you don't got it, you're done. Right? But we got to take our time and nurture the talent for the future. So if it takes me 2-3 years to nurture, a female, male to become a sports agent, then I'm going to nurture them.
What made you take that chance on me?
Well, honestly, with yourself, as I was in my own journey, and I got my mentors, and I met you in 2017, but I've been working with my mentor since 2010. So as I'm going through my journey and still playing ball, but in the back of my mind, when I'm on the court, when I'm home, I can't wait till my career's over.
Yeah.
'Cause I want to get to this. I'm just super curious about the companies that are paying us, not just receiving a contract and a check to play, but wow, these companies are investing in this organization and we're getting paid. I'm like, damn, that's super incredible. I'm human, they're human. I think I'm able to do this unless they're aliens. Right? Unless they're aliens, they're just human like us.
Yeah.
So we can put it together with yourself. That your jargon was on point. The way you speak about the lane you're in was in line. It was familiar, right? And you wasn't RA at the time.
I wasn't.
You know, you wasn't RA, and I didn't have RAs at the time.
Yeah.
I got RAs, but I thought your talent, your passion, and actually your passion before your talent, and I felt like you know people need to understand what you're doing, and I also felt like if people put their assets under management with someone as yourself, you know, they're going to be happy. It's going to be diligent. You know, and this is how I'm trying to move with serious people. But look at you today. Yeah. Look at you today. You're here. You have assets under management, and you're a serious person. But in business, like you got to be serious.
Yeah, you got to be.
You know, and it's crazy. So in basketball, if I need to get a play, I'm gonna dive on the ball. You can't just dive on paperwork in business.
That's true.
You can't hustle. What you doing? You're gonna lift up paper. Mm-hmm. But you got to be mentally serious. Like, what are you doing today? How are you thinking about it? What are you saying to me that's making sense? And I felt like you're a serious person.
Yeah. Okay. Was there anything you want to say before we get out of here? I know we got to get running.
I just want to say thank you for having me. This is, definitely an honor because I feel like you are the future, and y'all should definitely follow my guy Prince. He's definitely the Investor Show. He's the next. So if you're looking to get behind the next, hopefully we have high net worth people watching. Don't just turn it off and be like, this was interesting. Metta World Peace. The guy from the Lakers. The guy from the Lakers. Didn't he play in different? No, I didn't. People be asking weird questions. But definitely call to action. Y'all need to holler at Prince Dykes, the Investor Show. He's a serious RIA. And Metta World Peace, we in the building.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, until the next video podcast, cartoon, book, or whatever else crazy you see me doing around the globe. My name is Prince Dykes. I'm the Prince of Investing. Peace, be safe. I'm out, and thank you.
It's the Investor Show. Glad to meet you. It's so much about money that Prince, he can teach you. Them other people scamming, so don't let them beat you. You might be new, but the YouTuber gets you through. The rough patches, boom and bear markets, different asset